Happy Wednesday. Welcome to your morning yoga practice. I have Debbie here demoing the poses with me. We're going to give you a quick 30-minute flow class that you can take to your ability today. My name's Lisa Werny. My business is Evolve Yoga 2020. Grateful to have you with us today, and thank you to Mainline Today for hosting. Debbie's in Child's Pose to start this morning's practice. Get yourself a comfortable space where you can practice and take the class to your ability. I'll give you lots of ways to modify and intensify the class. Do it to your ability. Just make sure you feel good today. Start to tap into your breath, deepen your breath. Take the breath to the tightest parts of your body and invite that breath to nourish those spots for you today, whether it's tension, whether you woke up a little stiff. We never know what's going to happen when we get to the mat, how we're feeling. Take your knees a little bit wider if you can. Start to melt your hips to your heels. Ground the forehead and just be present. Before we start to move, just a little theming for our class. We're immersed in the foliage of fall. If you watch what happens in nature, we can start to attach to that. The trees are naturally shedding what they don't need. So ask yourself before you start your practice today, invite this idea of shedding. What can you get rid of? What are you lingering with? What are you carrying? And what are you worried about? So we're all in this new state of being where we kind of don't know how things are going to proceed forward. So can you be okay with that? Maybe shed the control that you can't control what's going on right now. Let's take one more breath. And then from here, press up to all fours, a tabletop position. We're going to go right into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and lift your hips to the sky. Start to walk your dog, bending one knee at a time. And get acclimated with your body, the body that you're in today, and get comfortable and at ease with your own body. Soften the knees and the elbows. Make sure your ears are right between your biceps. Start to hollow the pit of your belly and melt your heels a little bit lower to the ground. Let's take one more breath here. And then next inhale, shift to a high plank top of a push-up. Please drop your knees if you're newer to the class or if your back is tight. From here, take a full round of breath, chin away from your chest, and then press back to your downward facing dog. One full cycle of breath here. And then shift back to your high plank. From here, knees are up or down, low push-up, elbows hug your ribs. Inhale to your heart opener, up dog or cobra. Knees and thighs are lifted. And then take it to your down dog. So that was the flow, the vinyasa. You can leave that out. You can modify and be on your knees. You can come back to child's pose at any time. Take one more breath. And then take a walk, feet to hands, meeting in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Soften your knees. Let's grab the ankles and bounce the chest towards the thighs a couple times. Just loosening up the mid back, loosening up the neck, the cervical spine. And close your eyes and breathe. One more breath. And then root your feet. From your roots, let's come all the way up to rise, extended mountain pose, right into the practice. Look up at your fingers and then soften your knees as you fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Pause there for a breath, and then you decide whether you're flowing. Low push-up, elbows hug your ribs. Inhale to your heart opener, up dog, and then take it to your downward facing dog. Look back at your feet and make sure you can't see your heels. Ground the heels, tone the belly. One more breath. And then right into it, inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. And then square off that leg. Step forward to the top of the mat. Let's pause in the low lunge. Guide your arms to airplane arms. Lift the chest. Stretch your arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Make sure your shoulders are right over your hips, and then straighten the back leg a little bit more. From your belly, big inhale breath, fill up. And on your exhale, hands to the ground, high plank to your low push-up. Inhaling to your up dog. And exhaling to your downward facing dog. Let's breathe for 2 breaths. So down dog is a pose. You want to tone the arms and the legs, hollow the belly. And if you close your eyes, it's a nice way to energetically tune in to what's going on internally. So we tune out to tune in. One more breath. And then look forward. If you're jumping, soften your knees, walk, jump, or step forward. Halfway lift, fold and let go. Root your feet, arms to the sky. Big reach, root down to reach up. And then soften as you fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Hands down, high plank. You can walk or jump back. Add in the flow to heat the body. And then we'll meet in up dog. So I'm sneaking in a little extra flow this morning. If it doesn't work for your body, you'll just take downward facing dog. Let's take a full cycle of breath. Awesome breath, Deb. Left leg high, bend your knee, fan your hip. And then square it off. Take a big step forward. Pause in your low lunge. Take the arms back, airplane arms. Lift the heart. And then reach forward and rise to your crescent lunge. Let's straighten the arms and get the pinkies in and the thumbs out to protect the shoulders. And then fill from the belly right into the chest. Big breath in. On your exhale, hands to the ground, high plank. Work your flow. Low push-up, chaturanga arms to your up dog. And then take it to your down dog. You can always leave that out, right? And then in these inversions, you want to practice the softness in the neck, the hollowing of the belly, and the grounding of the hands and the feet. One more breath. And then look forward, walk, jump, or step forward. Halfway lift, fold and surrender. Listen carefully, toe heel your feet together. You can keep your heels a little bit apart if your back's tight. Sit your hips back and guide your arms high. Utkatasana chair pose. And as you sit low, try to get your knees and ankles together. Pull the lower belly up and then shine through the heart. Start to feel the heat of the practice. You can deepen that with a deeper breath. Maybe sit 1 inch lower. Final moment. And then bow forward. Inhale, flat back. Take your hands down, high plank, walk or jump back. Knees can be up or down, and then move through your flow, or you can even opt out of the flow. Ears are right between your biceps. Feel when you press into your hands that you're activating your core. And then tone the legs, press your thighs back. One more breath. Beautiful, right leg to the sky. Bend your knee, fan your hip. When you're fanning your hip, you're keeping your shoulders square, and then square off the leg, right knee to your right elbow or higher. Make sure you're in a high plank. And then take the leg back up, right knee to your left elbow or higher. Inhale the leg up, and then as light as you can, step forward and come right up to your crescent lunge. And then notice if you're wobbly, right? Steady yourself. When we're wobbly, we take that wobbliness with us. To center your attention to one spot and focus. Incredible mental focus from this practice as well. Take a huge breath in. And let's open to Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, your feet are as wide as your hands. The arms are at the same height. Relax the shoulders, and then the front knee is right over the ankle. Reach up and shine now. Right arm up to the sky. The left hand can go back, down the back leg a little bit lower, or you can take it behind the back. So your feet are your foundation. Make sure they're very rooted and you're not gripping your toes. Toning the legs, and then reach a little bit more from the hip. One more breath. Beautiful. Let's windmill all the way down and go through our flow. High to low push up, or leave that out. And remember, child's pose if you need it. You're still doing yoga, even if you're in child's pose. Let's take one more full cycle of breath as a rinsing. Beautiful. And then listen up, walk, jump, or step forward. Halfway lift, fold and let go. Toe heel your feet together, bend your knees, sit low, reach high. I'm going to sneak in a twist. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Lift your elbows. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And let's keep the hands in prayer. Take the thumbs to the heart and start to stack the shoulders more. Tone the belly and know that your legs are the strongest muscles of your body. So you're rooting down into your feet, you're toning your legs, you're rinsing your middle, and you're staying calm in the fire. This is a fiery pose, building some heat. One more breath. And then see if you can stay low. Come back to center and go right to the other side. Right elbow to the outside, thumbs to the heart. Perfect. So see how her knees are even in one line, really important. Tone the belly, one more breath. Beautiful. And then come back to center. Listen up. She's going to straighten the legs, take the arms up to the sky, extended mountain pose, baby back bend here, and then bow forward. Inhale, flat back, plant the hands, walk or jump back, enjoy your flow or leave it out. And remember, this is your practice. You can always add on. You can always pause the camera, right? And take a little longer for yourself. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Left leg high, bend your knee, fan your hip. You can roll the ankle. You can circle the knee just to loosen up the hip. We've been sitting a lot lately. And then square it off. Bring the left knee to the left elbow or higher. Perfect. She's really strong. Take the leg high and then carve it under the body to the right elbow. Inhale the leg high. And then as light as you can, step forward and rise to your crescent lunge. If you were modifying, you would drop the back knee, right? If you're intensifying, be on the back tippy toes and straighten the back leg. Take a huge breath in. And now open to your warrior two. And then be that strong warrior, right? Feel it, embrace it, root the feet, reach up and shine now, shining the heart to the sky as you sink deep into your strength. So yoga allows you to open the body and connect to your inner strength, the inner knowing, right? When you're present, you really feel that you're not distracted. Take one more breath up and back. And then windmill your hands down, frame your foot, high plank. If you wanted intensity, you would always add a push-up or just work your flow. And everybody's flow looks a little bit different, right? So the one beauty of yoga is you're not comparing to anybody else's body. You're just feeling how good it feels to immerse yourself with breath and then to move with that breath. One more breath. And then listen carefully. Walk your hands to your feet at the back of the mat. Soften your knees and just hang down. Let your head feel so heavy that you're picturing a leaf falling off the tree outside. So we hold a ton of tension in the neck, maybe shake it out. One more breath. Beautiful. And then listen up. From here, we're going to rise to standing at the back of the mat. Reach up, maybe look up. Beautiful. And then from here, she's going to bring her right knee to 90 degrees. Perfect. Arms stay up at the sky. Beautiful. And then from here, we're just going to hinge the leg back, keeping the arms forward if you can for warrior three variation, or you can take your arms back to airplane arms. If you have a shoulder issue, hands in prayer at your heart is fine. So just an early balance. Perfect job. And then everybody hands to prayer. You're going to walk it down for a standing split, lifting the back leg up. Lean into the left toes, tone the belly. And it's perfectly fine to have this leg at hip height. You want square hips and a toned belly. One more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, soften the left knee. You're going to fly your arms back. You've got it. And then you're going to hinge all the way up, bringing the right knee forward and up, arms to the sky. Awesome. Take a big breath in. Awesome. Now you're going to step the right foot forward. And then you're going to hinge forward, taking the left leg up, airplane pose. So arms can be forward or back. So we're just working balance a little bit differently today. One leg is on the ground, one leg is in the air. And if you're modifying, the back toes can be down. And then hands to your heart, walk it down, standing split. Are we on the other leg? Perfect. Lean into the toes, fly the leg up. So it's funny on Zoom how sometimes we say right leg if it's not mirroring you. So just make sure you're always evened out. Lean in, lift up. One more breath. Beautiful. And then she's going to bring her left foot to meet her right at the top of the mat. Separate your feet wider, about 2 fist distance. Soften your knees and grab for your big toes. Pull the belly up and in, and then surrender the heart down. This is one of my favorite poses because it creates vulnerability in the mid-back, the thoracic spine. So when you take your elbows out, it feels like your heart's cracking wide open. Breathe and let go. One more breath. Beautiful. Then release the feet. Come all the way up to rise, extended mountain. Right away, reach up, look up, and then soften as you fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Plant your hands, high plank, walk or jump back. Add your flow or leave it out. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a big inhale breath. This time, open your mouth, release your breath. Take your right leg up to the sky, bend your knee, fan your hip. Square off that leg, get the leg a little bit higher. And then as you step forward, spin your back heel flat and we'll meet in warrior one. So I'm going to cue warrior one for you. You're driving the left hip forward, you're pulling the right hip back, and then you're bringing your arm bones back. And so if you feel an arch in your back, engage the pelvic floor more. Perfect. Take a huge breath. And now open to warrior two. And then right away, straighten your right leg for triangle pose. Right arm down, left arm high. And then as you breathe into your sternum and your chest, courage in the chest today, right? So we're not feeling good, we compress that area, get it wide open. If you want to work a little bit more, core arms over the ears, only for 2 breaths. And we say you can do anything for 2 breaths, right? Make sure the knees are a little bit soft, root the feet. And then breathe into your roots, your belly. One more breath. Good morning, doggy. And then take the arm down and up. You're going to come all the way up to rise. Hands on your hips. Pivot all 10 toes to face the same way. Make sure the toes are going slightly in. And then draw the elbows back for the heart opener. And find a flat back. Soften your knees a lot to protect your hamstrings. And then you're going to slide your hands down your legs, working a flat back on this side. Pulling the belly in and then surrendering the head and the heart down. Please close your eyes. So in these times, right, we have to learn how to let go of what we can't control and be okay with where we are. And so yoga teaches us that. It allows us to find our strength on the mat, find that presence, and know that the poses kind of mimic what's going on out there. When we attach to what we're in, we know we can handle it, right? We have no idea what's coming, but we're okay with that. To really feel that in every pose. One more breath. Beautiful. And then soften your knees, hands on your hips, come all the way up. She's going to pivot the right foot forward and bring the left foot into a 3-foot base. So from here, let's work the core a little bit. Take the arms up to the sky, interlace your fingers, extend your pointers, and try to get your palms together. And then imagine you're kind of diving into a pool. You're going to dive over the front leg, going into pyramid pose. Frame your front foot. This is wonderful for your digestive system. You can stay here if you want another balance. You could float the left leg up. You could take a handstand from here. You could even practice just hopping on that right foot and kicking up if you'd like. Tuck your chin a little bit more. Perfect, Debbie. One more breath. And then listen up, a little bit different. You're going to soften the right knee and you're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat. Plant the hands. Step the right foot back. Hold your high plank. Just hold it there. And now you decide whether you're flowing or you can leave it out. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You can always hold your up dog a little bit longer for a stretch. Perfect. Big breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Take your left leg high. Bend your knee, stretch the hip just for a moment. And then square it off as you step forward, right heel flat. We'll meet in that strong warrior one, arms to the sky. And then this time, in your mind's eye, the right hip's going forward and the left hip's going back. Pull the pelvic floor up and shine through the heart, straight arms. Take a big inhale breath. And now open to warrior two. Be that strong warrior, right? And then straighten the left leg, hinging into Trikonasana, triangle pose. I always like to imagine in triangle that I'm kind of with ease guiding the top arm up and stretching the bottom arm down. So you get that courage in the chest, the heart. And then by all means, stay here. If you want to kick it up, just take your arms, frame your ears, and make sure that your neck is able to move around. Sometimes we tense up the neck in this pose. Perfect. Light up through your core, your middle. One more breath, really strong. And then come back to your triangle first. From your feet, come all the way up to rise. Hands on your hips again, and then goddess pose, heels in, toes out. Let's take the right hand to the belly and the left hand to the back. Keep that integrity, bend your knees, and make sure your knees are going towards your ankles. And then let's cactus the arms, right? Goddess arms. Make a little mudra, a point of concentration with your thumb and forefinger. Close your eyes and sit into your power. So we bend on the mat so that we don't break, right? And it's really important to take time for yourself, especially in these changing times when maybe the kids are at home, maybe your schedule has shifted. When we're slowing down and mindful and present, that's when we gain our power. Feminine energy now. One more breath, sit a little bit lower. Beautiful. And then open your eyes and take your elbows down on your knees and just shift side to side to release the groin and the inner thighs. Beautiful. And then straighten your legs, hands on your hips. Turn the left foot forward. Bring the right foot into that 3-foot base. Take your arms back up. And just for fun, for your brain, cross the opposite thumb, extend the fingers, and dive forward, right over that front leg. Keeping the front knee soft, hands on the ground. Stay here, or if you want that extra balance, float the leg up, but float it up by leaning into the front toes and toning the belly. Head is down. 2 breaths. Take a final breath. Beautiful. And then keep a slight bend in that left knee, lightly step back. See if you can land on the right tippy toe. She probably can because she's really strong. Left foot back, high plank. Hold your high plank. Beautiful. Let's come to the elbows for Dolphin Plank. I know this is not Debbie's favorite pose, but she's super strong. So we're not going to be here too long. She has perfect form. See how her shoulders are in line with her hips? Your gaze is forward and down. We tend to collapse the head in this pose. Can you hold it for one more breath? Beautiful. And then drop your knees, tops of the feet flat. Keep your elbows where they are and lower your chest down. We're going to take Sphinx Pose. Take your arms out to the side. And then integrity, right? So the knees and thighs are lifted. Feet are on the ground. And then just press into your hands and see if you can lift your chest for a gentle back stretch. Take your head side to side. Should feel good, right? And then lower all the way to your bellies. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can look to one side. And as you melt down, let gravity take over, right? Notice if you're clinging or gripping anywhere. Can you soften and breathe? Let your heels fall apart. Now see if you can even out your breath. And remind yourself, right, you're supported. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to go right into a locust pose with an option to go into bow pose. So arms are going to be alongside your hips. Keep your feet apart if you have a tight back. And then we're going to get the hips heavy. We're going to lift everything up right away. So as you lift up, keep your gaze forward. An option to take the thumbs up. Once you have this, if you want to deepen, you can bend your knees and catch your feet for Dhanurasana bow pose. But I want you to use the feet, kicking the feet back into the hands to open the heart. So this is like bridge pose, but we're on our bellies. So back bends, open the heart. And they give us a lot of good energy to keep shining and to keep moving forward. Final breath, beautiful. And then I ask you to come out with ease, going all the way down. Take your gaze to the side and melt down into the ground. We're starting to slow way down. One more breath. Beautiful. And then she's going to set the hands mid-rib, tuck the toes, knees can stay down, high plank pose to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a big inhale breath. Open your mouth, release the breath. Take the right leg up to the sky. Take a big step forward. Bring the left knee down. We're going into pigeon pose. She's going to toe heel the right foot across the body, keeping the left leg straight. You want to lift the heart and then go down, and make sure when you're going down that your forehead is on a pillow, on your hands, or on support, right? So you're not creating tension in the cervical spine. And then she's melting the hips. If this is impossible for you, you're going to go onto your back and take reclined figure 4, making a figure 4 figure on your back. It's just pigeon on your back. We're here for only 5 breaths. So with each breath, start to dissolve any sensations that you're feeling of attachment in the body that shows up as like a sweet pain, a nagging sensation in the hips. Dissolve the thinking. Maybe you showed up on your mat thinking a lot. You can replace those thoughts with a deeper breath or a visual, maybe the tree outside that's shedding things. So we can change our perception in the poses, right, by freeing up space in the body to free up the mind. Let's take just one more breath. And please, you can always stay longer if you're practicing at home and you're feeling good. And then without a lot of effort, walk your hands back, plant the right foot, bend that knee, and you're going to take 3-legged dog, right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, just circle the ankle and the knee, just feeling open in the hip. And then place the foot down into a gentle dog. Listen up, we're going to get a little release. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Bring your chest back towards the thighs. As you melt your heels, open your mouth and sigh. Beautiful. Left leg high. Bend your knee, fan your hip. And then as you square it off, step it forward with ease. Bring the right knee down. You're going to toe heel that left foot across. Make sure the left knee is in front of the hip. Square the hips, lengthen the spine, and then soften down into the ground. Pigeon pose. And you always want to notice that you're never trying to fix the imbalance between side to side. Each side should feel a little bit different. And so our right side's our giving side, our left side's our receiving side. That doesn't mean if you're tighter on the right side, you're not a giver. I always like to think of it as we can only give what we're willing to receive and only receive what we're willing to give. That's the equanimity in the body. That's what we establish in the poses. And that's a huge lesson for life, right? So now soften the tight spots by nourishing yourself with more breath. And notice how good it feels to soften and release areas in the body that you didn't even know were tight. On your last breath, can you drop in a little bit deeper and know you can always stay longer? Pause your camera and stay longer at home. One more breath. And then walk your hands back, flatten the left foot, lift the right knee, three-legged dog. Bend and fan open if you'd like. Square it off, place it down. If you want to add a final flow, take it. If not, right, you'll go to down dog and we'll meet there. This time, take your knees to a hover off of the mat. Pull the belly button up and in. Straighten your legs and go softly into your final dog. Close your eyes and picture one thing you can let go of today. Maybe something that crept in that you couldn't control. You're going to have that throughout your day today. Your breath is your avenue. Walk your feet to your hands. Transition onto your backs. We're just going to rinse with a final twist today. So once you're there, hug both knees into your chest and take a happy baby pose. It used to be called dead bug pose. I think happy baby sounds better than dead bug, right? And then keep your forehead and shoulders down. Hug your right knee into your chest. Take your left leg long on the mat. So a little compression for your hip. One of the best poses for your lower back is to hug your knee in on your back. And let that knee fall across the body at hip height. So you're truly in a twist and not a back bend. Take your arms to the side and maybe spin your hands down to soften the shoulders. So you get a 2-for, right? You get a shoulder stretch and a nice twist. Twist, wring out and rinse the body. Take one more breath. And then bring that knee back to center. Take the leg up to the sky. Use your core to let the leg float to the ground slowly. And then feel what your spine feels like in a neutral position. So there's no arch in your back before you go into your twist. And then draw the left knee in, give it a squeeze. Let it fall across the body at hip height for a twist, a rinsing. Maybe take your gaze to the left if it's okay for your neck. And truly let go now. Big breath in. Big breath out. Take the leg back to center, straighten it up to the sky, flex the foot. Let it float slowly to the ground. Take your arms overhead for a full body stretch. Picture you're hanging from your favorite tree outside. And then keep the length in your spine. Bring your arms by your side. We have only a 1-minute Shavasana, a final letting go. It's the ultimate letting go. We call it corpse pose. It's the dissolving of everything, of the ego, right? Of the stress, of the tension that we wear in the body that we're not even aware of. It's the opportunity to flush so that when we come out of the practice, we feel renewed and regenerated. So I was just practicing with my teacher who's out in California the other day, and he was saying that 80% of our lives are in fight or flight, true fact, at least 80%. And only about 10 or 20% is in rest, restore, and renew actively when we're not sleeping. And it's really important that we take moments, whether we're meditating or unplugging, to practice that renew, reset, and restore in an active state so that we feel what it's like to be stress-free while we're awake. Right. Let's take a final breath. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your body roll to your favorite side. And then we're going to press up to an easy seat, Sukhasana position. We call it easy seat. And notice, do you feel longer and your hips softer towards the ground? Hair stuck. It's all good. We have this hair. Let's bring the hands to Anjali Mudra at our heart center. What we bring in, we can offer out. So what can you bring in from the practice today? This feeling of release, of letting go, but of a deep inner knowing that you're okay where you are. And let's bring that to consciousness, thumbs to the brow, open the palms wide, and let's bow together. Namaste. Thank you, Mainline, today for hosting me. Lisa Werny, my company's Evolve Yoga 2020. I secured a space inside for about 3 classes a week starting next week in Malvern area. So please friend me on Facebook. You can message me. I'm also on Instagram, Lisa Werny, or Lisa Werny at Yahoo. My dear friend Debbie, thank you for helping me out. She's a true yogi. Looking forward to also having some Zoom classes available for you. So have a great Wednesday. Get out and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.